Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th episode of Cabin Chronicles. Today with us, we have Mr. Vineet Sharma, Chief of Staff at Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. Welcome sir.
Thank you very much.
So sir, मेरा पहला सवाल है कि चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ ये पोजीशन मतलब सुनने में तो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगती है. चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ ऐसे एक मिलिट्री आर्मी वाइब आता है उससे. तो मुझे पूछना था एंड आई एम श्योर आवर व्यूअर्स आर आल्सो इंटरेस्टेड कि एक चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ का एग्जैक्ट काम होता क्या है?
Very interesting question, and I must tell you, when first time I also heard, so I also had the same question. So boss told me कि chief of staff जैसा position is available. So what do you think about it? तो बोलते जानता है क्या होता है? Then I said कि boss, I have seen House of Cards, and there I know one of the chief of staff.
Yeah.
So then he told me about it. That is like shadowing CEO. And driving CEO strategies from CEO office.
Yeah.
So that's the role. Then they have given us certain functions, which are actually, working horizontally.
Okay.
And of telling so many processes. So from customer centricity standpoint, from data-driven innovation standpoint, from project tracking standpoint, we have PMO, then, business solutioning group. So there are 4 or 5 functions, which are mapped to this. So overall thought process was that, somebody centrally, horizontally should oversee what is happening and any meaty projects, which actually, give a long-term impact to the organization. This function should drive. So I'm thankful and grateful that I got this opportunity.
Yeah. Like you did say that from CEO strategy to like company strategy. So that's a wide array of roles that you are looking after. It's like a jack of all trades kind of a job.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And another thing I wanted to ask, so you hail from Lucknow.
Yeah.
So how has that transition been from Lucknow to Pune? Do you like Pune and how has it been here for you?
So for me, it's been years I'm working. I think I'm working since 2002.
Oh, okay.
So now I stayed in Lucknow. I did my schooling and everything, my initial studies from Lucknow. Then I started my career, from Punjab. Then I been to Delhi. Then for a small stint, I went to Ahmedabad. Then again came back to Delhi, went to Mumbai, and now Pune. So when I look back and during these stints in different organizations, I traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And so what I realized that I have lost that identity, that which city belongs to me.
Yeah.
So yes, when I go back to Lucknow, I really love that, the vibe and everything.
Yeah.
But Delhi, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, wherever you go, you actually feel like that this is the place where you work. So similarly for Pune, it's been 7th year, and time has actually flied. So really don't know that, of course, this is a good place. And, I really love, staying here, comparatively calmer than Mumbai.
Yeah.
I stayed a good stint in Mumbai. So comparatively, I'm loving this place so far.
Yes, and something that you touched upon was that all these places sort of shaped who you were. And now there's a sense of this thing that I am a person of all of these cities, not just from Lucknow.
Correct.
So does that affect your life home back in Lucknow? Or do you feel that you still have that, that born and brought upness of Lucknow?
That will always remain there.
Yeah.
Because once you go back, you connect from your childhood, probably memories, friends, people around.
Yeah.
So that connect will always be there. So because that is something which has given a larger shape of the, of the personality of mine.
Yeah.
So that is stayed there. But however, I'm saying that the other parts are also dominating.
Yeah.
So once we go there, then we have thoughts about that particular space.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked you this was because आजकल ये बहुत बात चल रही है, ये वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस जो टर्म है, जो बहुत फेमस हो गया है, बहुत उस पर चर्चा हो रही है ऑनलाइन भी and in person also. Every employee I meet, every person I meet, every friend or anyone who's working anywhere, doing anything is talking about work-life balance. So considering that you have to fly back home all the way to Lucknow to meet family, and what do you think about this whole work-life balance debate and discussion?
Oh, very tricky question, huh? So, work-life balance, to my mind, what exactly you want to balance. You have to see that what is work, what is life.
Yeah.
So I remember when we were kids. So parents used to tell that study, teachers used to say study, and we used to go and play a lot. And when we were playing, then we were not looking for any balance.
Yeah.
So while studying, definitely we were saying that 2 hours I have studied, now I should go for play for 5 hours. Or 1 hour study, then we say कि भाई ये बहुत हो गया पढ़ाई, अब जा रहा हूँ खेलने.
Yeah.
So what I believe that if what you do you enjoy, if you are passionate about it, then probably you don't have to look for work-life balance.
Yeah.
So that's the reason probably most of the people say that do your passion, follow your passion.
Yeah.
So you see all successful people, you see anybody who has done fairly well. It's not about how much hours you are giving to that work.
Yeah.
It's like that what exactly you do. So right now also, it's been years, we have been working, and so what is the priority?
Yeah.
So that priority define your, maybe the share of time which you give to that activity.
Yeah.
And nowadays, because this kind of a conversation is happening, work-life balance and all, so all companies, most of the companies in fact are keeping a tab on this.
Yeah.
So we get flexible hours.
Yeah.
We get weekend off.
Yeah.
Whenever required, we can take leaves. So what else is required for work-life balance? So if you don't have a work, then what will you balance?
Yeah.
So if you need some time for your family, there are mandatory policies are there.
Yeah.
So what exactly people want to balance? Sometimes I'm not able to relate. Maybe I'm getting a little older. So that way, I think that work-life balance is a good conversation to do. However, if people enjoy what they do, then I think this is not a question.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Like, I think I've said this on this Cabin Chronicles series also before with somebody that like take up a job where you don't need to take a holiday. It feels like one.
Absolutely.
Something of that sort.
Absolutely.
And so since you're chief of staff, like I'm sure your work is like, first of all, it's works on very different quadrants, like something not that content people would know, for example. But can you tell us about one interesting project that you took up recently that sort of was very impactful, or something that you will always keep in mind?
There are many projects, right now, when as a function, we pick projects. So those are the projects, which we remain very careful that we pick, which has a very larger impact.
Yeah.
So when you talk about one of the functions called data driven from my side, so what we picked that, how are we increasing penetration, or how are we actually placed in upcountry market. So we have figured out via some IIB data, Vahan data and all that, and finally we have mapped the entire Bajaj data in district, sub-district level. Then we have mapped the loss ratios, we have mapped the profitability, then we work very closely with actuarial team, underwriting team, business teams, and at least one vision we could give. That this is how we should see the market. Otherwise, the regular way you see it and you do. But if somebody gives it from 70,000 feet and tells that this is again there could be certain sweet spots, you can always go and work there. So that is a project which I think is really good, and it has given a good perspective to teams. Hopefully, this is what I believe.
And I think, like, from what you say, I feel the discovering, exploring part of it, the collaborating part of it is what's driving that passion, and obviously the impact that it will create for like crores of Indians in the future.
Absolutely. End of the day, whatever we think, if we are not able to communicate well, secondly, people should not see us as a police. People should see us, that we are the extended arms, probably, where right now we are sitting, probably we can add a little more value, to the things. And of course, the agenda is very transitory. That particular transaction has to get sorted. So that's the agenda, and I think this is, and so far journey is so good. So whatever, value we could add,
Yeah.
And I think, somewhere people have appreciated it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of feedbacks, though we get,
Yeah.
but the intent is always strictly business, nothing
yeah.
beyond that.
Yeah. Like I've heard this thing where they say, no matter the number of words you speak, it's the numbers that count finally.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are hardcore sales organization.
Yes, yes.
So end of the day, we are here for business.
Yeah.
So we have a relationship with each other because of business.
Yeah.
So if that business is not there, then this relationship has no meaning.
Yeah, that's fair. And coming to that, we have a lot of young magicians who've recently joined us as MTs and otherwise. And of course, there's other professionals who will watch this as well, who are just starting into their careers. So we have this thing on Cabin Chronicles where we ask our speaker to give a tip to these young youth professionals that are just starting out on their career. And what would your one tip be? It can be something general, but yeah, what would you recommend to these guys?
What should I tell them? Believe in yourself. There's one thing which I can say, and look for that opportunity to learn. Right now, what happens that so far till college life, you have very limited exposure. So once you come out from that to corporate world, then the life just completely gets changed. So this change is very big. So if you see the stats also, so in first 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, a lot of attrition happens. Because people are thinking that, a very different view about the corporate world. And when they are studying, and same, we were also studying at one point of time. So we were also thinking like that. So it's a different world. And but it is an amazing world to work with. So here, there are no fantasies, there are only realities. So you have to do things, and you should be open for learning. And you should try to work with many departments, many functions. And always try to have a vintage in any of the organizations you are working. Otherwise you'll not be able to understand the soul of that organization and the business. And the companies like Bajaj, which are running over 20 years, so they must be doing something right. We are one of the dominant players in the market. So somebody gets the opportunity to work with us, they should know that what exactly we do. For that, they have to stay here for a longer period. They have to get into some grind, some pushbacks. So don't give up, keep on fighting, and then you will shine.
That's incredible advice, sir. And thank you so much for having us here, for being here on our show. And thank you so much for taking up the time out of your very busy schedule. It was great talking to you. And we hope that we get to hear from you a lot more in the future. And yeah, it was very interesting to know what a chief of staff does. Like, it's been something that I always thought again that it was something military related, but yeah, the array of features that you take care of, and the separate, like different departments you're working for, is absolutely incredible. But yeah, it was great having you here, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned.